Isaac and his mother lived alone in a small house on a hill. Isaac kept to himself, drawing pictures and playing with his toys as his mom watched Christian broadcasts on the television. Life was simple, and they were both happy. That was until the day Isaac's mom heard a voice from above. "Your son has become corrupted by sin. He needs to be saved." "I will do my best to save him, my lord," Isaac's mother replied, rushing into Isaac's room, removing all that was evil from his life. Again, the voice called to her. "Isaac's soul is still corrupt. He needs to be cut off from all that is evil in this world and confess his sins." "I will follow your instructions, Lord. I have faith in thee," Isaac's mother replied, as she locked Isaac in his room, away from the evils of the world. One last time, Isaac's mom heard the voice of God calling to her. "You've done as I've asked, but I still question your devotion to me. To prove your faith, I will ask one more thing of you." "Yes, Lord, anything," Isaac's mother begged. "To prove your love and devotion, I require a sacrifice. Your son Isaac will be this sacrifice. Go into his room and end his life as an offering to me to prove you love me above all else." "Yes, Lord," she replied, grabbing a butcher's knife from the kitchen. Isaac, watching through a crack in his door, trembled in fear. Scrambling around his room to find a hiding place, he noticed a trapdoor to the basement hidden under his rug. Without hesitation, he flung open the hatch, just as his mother burst through his door and threw himself down into the unknown depths below.
Hello everyone, this is Shay, and welcome to The Binding of Isaac Rebirth, more particularly The Binding of Isaac Afterbirth, a roguelike bullet hell, a visceral journey to freedom and salvation made by Edmund McMillan, who also made Super Meat Boy, which is a playthrough that Jorgal's doing. If you haven't seen that, I'll put a link to it in the description below. But we are going to do a new run as... I'll go as Isaac, sure. We'll do a nice classic run. So, for those of you who have never played this game before, it is basically a nitty-gritty, comedic, visceral, just absolutely horrible and at the same time fantastic roguelike RPG adventure, where you play this small tortured child attempting to escape his own home's basement, where he finds absolutely horrible, horrible things. Oh, and you kill things with your tears, because that makes sense. So I've actually played this game quite a bit. I've played it since the first game came out, The Binding of Isaac. Binding of Isaac Rebirth is actually a recreation of the first game on a different, better engine, because the initial game used Flash as its engine, which led to a lot of problems when you were trying to update it and such. What is this? The Binding of Isaac Afterbirth is a recent update to the game that released a bunch of new enemies, new rooms, new items, new endings, all sorts of new stuff. If it was new, it was in the DLC. I haven't played a ton of the DLC, so there's still stuff I haven't discovered yet, but we're basically just going to be doing episodes of this, seeing how far we can make it in each run, seeing how many different endings I can get. So for this first one, I will just aim for as far as I can go without dying. If I die too quickly, we'll do a couple different runs just to make sure that it remains interesting, and so that I don't end up with a 5-minute episode where I got 4.5 minutes in and died. So there are a number of different enemies in The Binding of Isaac, all of which are incredibly horrible from these... I can't remember what they're called, but they're these horrible little creatures that spit out other horrible little creatures, right down to animated poop! So, I probably should have put a warning at the beginning of this episode, talking about how gory and visceral and disgusting it would be. But hey, what's the adventure in life if you're not going to take chances? So this is pretty much the Binding of Isaac. You need to make your way through room after room, not dying, because as a roguelike, when you die, you're dead, that's it. Collecting items to eventually culminate in a final battle for your survival. It sounds like almost every other RPG out there. But this one does it in this delightfully disgusting yet cartoony style that gives it this wonderful charm. I see you there. I almost didn't see you there, but I see you there. Die. Alright, did I find the item room yet? I did find the item room. So we'll go fight the boss now.
Yes.
You also fart. I'm gonna go fight the boss now. Isaac versus Little Horn. This is one of the new bosses from the DLC, actually. Keep your bombs away from me. He has several different attacks. This one took me forever to figure out that you can actually kill the little black smoke ball that he fires at you. Ow. Sorry if I'm being awfully quiet. Oh, okay. I was trying to concentrate and then I died. Let's try this again, shall we? Prepare to watch that happen a lot, because while I am fairly good at the Binding of Isaac, and I think I've done all but one ending, it takes a good run for me to get very far. And if it's not a good run, I don't get very far. And normally I'm not recording when I play, so now I have to concentrate on two things. Wonderful. Alright. Keys. It has a lot of RPG elements to it. You find bombs, you find keys, you find health, you unlock doors, get items. You don't save the princess. That doesn't happen in this one. Not yet, at least. There might be a princess in the DLC that I haven't found yet that you can save. But I kinda doubt it. How much health do I... Oh. So, on floors you can get things that are called curses, which are basically just these really negative things that happen to you that do various things. For example, I can't see how much health I have on this floor, which means I don't know how close to death I am. Number 1, Tears Up. Oh boy. Well, I went from crying at my enemies to urinating on my enemies. So that tells you how classy a game this is. And these little blighters here are my absolute least favorite enemies in the entire game. Spiders, man. Spiders kill me more than anything. More than bosses. They're twitchy, they're fast, and they're not predictable. That's a lot of fire. Hi, fire. Go away, fire. Please go away, fire. Ow. Ow. And see, this is the problem. Now that I can't see my health, it's quite likely that I'm going to die a horrible death. But not in this room. Chest, money, bombs, good things. I'm gonna blow up this rock because it gives me stuff. If you've played The Binding of Isaac before, and if you're really good at The Binding of Isaac, you'll probably do a lot of screaming at me, saying, "Why are you doing it that way? You absolute fool, there's better ways to do it." I'm sure there are, but like I said, I have all but one ending in this game, so I'm pretty confident with the way I play it. If you've never seen The Binding of Isaac before, just be warned, it will be a bit spoilery if I get certain endings. If you don't want spoilers, you probably shouldn't watch this until you beat the game yourself. But hopefully there will be enough new things for me to discover to keep it interesting, because there's still a ton of items and enemies and even a boss that I just haven't even dealt with in The Binding of Isaac Afterbirth before. So... Oh good, I ended that floor with 2 hearts. Poop. Poop everywhere. That's another thing this game has a lot of, is poop. So much poop. But you can break the poop and find prizes. Which is kind of weird. It's like swallowing a Lego and finding it later. Anyways! Spiders need to die, because they're my least favorite enemy. Blow up more rocks and give me stuff. And the item room! Luckily I have a key for it. Ooh. I want to re-roll this. Let's see. Come on. Come on! Yes! Odd mushroom. Isaac is a strange little boy in that he'll pick up pretty much anything and either stuff it into his face or put it in his mouth. And most of the time it works out for the best, but sometimes it doesn't. He seems to have this horrible raging pill addiction where every time he has a pill he just kind of has to put it in his mouth. Which more often than not leads to horrible effects, as you would imagine chugging random pills would. So we got the item room. Every floor generally consists of rooms filled with enemies, one item room, one shop, and then the boss. So generally what I'll do is I'll search around, try and find the item room. I generally try and explore the entire floor, but if I'm kind of low on health, I'll just go right for the boss rather than risking losing. Petrified poop. Petrified poop is a trinket that makes other poop more awesome by making it drop more things. So that locked door at the end of the corridor here, that is the shop. Well, this works out perfectly. Poop for days. Poop that drops stuff, which is fantastic. So yeah, that locked door at the end of the hallway there is the shop, which now that I'm going to have poop filled with money, I think I'm gonna go open. Poopy doopy 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 doop poop. And you can see where Edmund Macmillan's kind of weird sense of humor goes along with his design style. You look at something like Binding of Isaac, where it's very visceral and gritty and blood and gore everywhere. And then you look at this, where it's very visceral and gritty and blood and gore everywhere. Mom's Pearl. So this makes those little silver hearts that I have up in my health bar right now drop more often. But I don't know if I want that or the petrified poop. What does this one do? I don't remember what this one does. I'm gonna take the pearl. Having more health is always good. And I'm gonna take a key because having more keys is always good. Alright, onward to the boss. Perfect. Go away, poop. Go away, poop. So much poop. Do I want to explore that last room? Nah, I'm just gonna move on to the boss. Little horn again. Alright, more of the same. Come here, little horn. I got some damage up earlier. That was that rock I found inside the rock that I blew up, which is pretty nice, because early on, getting additional damage is very important to outlasting these boss fights. Come on, little horn. Die. Die faster. This is the only enemy, I think, in the game that makes these little holes that you can fall into, which was very confusing the first time I fought this boss. I wasn't sure what was going on. Everything! What are you? What are you? You don't appear to have done anything. Okay. Pills! Put them in my mouth!
Tears up.
Thank you, narrator. Tears up. Fantastic. And a joker, which normally would create one of these doors up here, but I don't need to use it, because the game already gave me one. Hi, Satan. Bye, Satan. So that was a devil room. You can make a deal with the devil. You give up a portion of your permanent health in return for an item, but I generally don't like making deals with the devil, for obvious reasons. But more importantly, if you make deals with the devil, you can't get blessed by God with cathedrals later on in the game, so I think I'd much rather get cathedrals than give up my health for items. This one is a challenge room where they start you off with the potential for a reward. They can give you an item, a chest, something like that. And if you take that reward, you then have to complete 3 waves of enemies. And if you survive, you have the potential of getting another reward for your efforts, or nothing. And it could just result in you losing a lot of your health, or just plain dying. those enemies are interesting. You have to kill them, and then you have to kill their corpse. Kind of like zombies. Except redder and more meaty looking. Now, as Edmund McMillan often likes to do, there are references to his other games in this game. You can actually get a Super Meat Boy companion in this game, along with other references to his various games, such as Gish. There's a reference to, I'm sure there's, oh yeah, you can get a Dr. Fetus item from Super Meat Boy as well. There's all sorts of them, and I haven't played all of his games, but the ones I have played I've thoroughly enjoyed. They're just strange little crazy amalgamations that tend to make them charming? We'll use the word charming. I'm sure that's not the right word to use in this case, but that's the word we're going to use. I'm going to use this. Yeah, it's another devil room. Oh, but it's got hearts in it. Sin hearts. Sin hearts, when depleted, deal massive damage to all the enemies in the room. So you kind of get your payback with them. Ow. I see you down there jiggling. Die. Much like Diablo or any other, or most other at least, dungeon crawler RPGs, you can find unique versions of enemies that do unique... Can I not reach you? At least your spiders can't reach me. Come on. Oh, this is gonna take a while. There we go. Yeah, you can find unique versions of enemies that get various abilities, like they can shoot extra bullets, or they're harder to kill, or they turn invisible, or they make your day horrible. And I'm trying to avoid these flies, because when they die, they explode viciously. Ow! Like that. And they took one of my sin hearts. Those jerks. Item room. What are you? Holy light. Oh yeah, this occasionally gives me a super powerful bullet that if it hits something, it fires down a beam of light upon them. It smotes them from the heavens. Like that. Die. I know it seems tedious, but it's worth breaking all the poop because it can drop items. Like that. More health for me. I feel like I've become some horribly mutated Draenei from World of Warcraft with my glowy blue eyes. Ow, spikes hurt. Oh my gosh, I have a pill and I forgot to stuff it in my mouth. I will do that after I defeat these enemies. Stuffing pills in your mouth during battle is a horrible idea. Why not?
Power pill.
That worked out. Come here. I want to eat you. Come here. Dang it! I hate flying enemies. I hate them so much. Ow. Oh. Normally I skip through those loading screens when I'm playing on my own, but now I have to remember that I have an audience watching, so I will try not to skip through those. I'm gonna try not to skip anything important, like little cutscenes and stuff like that, just because some of you may not have played the game before and don't plan on playing it yourself, but you want to play it vicariously through another, and that's why I'm here. Do I want to explore the rest of this dungeon? There's quite a few unexplored rooms. Oh, spikes. Whew. Let's not walk into those. Come on! Ugh. This must have Curse of the Maze, which means that when I go through a door, there's a chance it'll bring me somewhere else. Which it looks like it brought me right to the end of the hallway I was trying to go down. Bomb. Chest. Okay, so, that item right there is Bob's Brain. Now, in your common RPG, you want to pick up everything, because everything helps you. I'm not picking up that, because while on the surface, it may seem helpful, it's basically a brain that floats around with you, and whenever you shoot tears, it flies off in the direction you shot tears in, and if it collides with an enemy, it explodes. Sounds fantastic, except sometimes the enemy is right in front of you, and when it explodes on you. That item has killed me more times than most other items in this game, so I'm not picking that up. I'm sure there's a lot of people out there who've played Binding of Isaac who would agree with me. What are you? Mom's box. What's inside? It's a hand. Oh, it's the monkey's paw. Nah, I want Mom's Pearl. Monkey's paw makes it so that if you're reduced to half a heart, it drops a sin heart for you. Not terribly reliable. I don't like using it. I find that more often than not when I'm in the deeper levels where enemies deal 1 damage at a time rather than half a heart. I die before I get to make use of the monkey's paw. So, oh, I just picked up... Health up! Ooh! Oh, I forgot I got endless shops. Here we go.
I found pills.
I found pills. What is this? Bombs are keys.
Bombs are keys.
Well, now I don't have any keys. But that's alright, I guess. Ooh, ow. Can we not? Can we please not? Die. Die. Okay. Onward to the next floor. I'll try not to skip these either. Catacombs 2, Curse of the Unknown. So once again, I don't know how much health I have, which kind of really sucks. Can I not reach you guys? Ugh, I have to like freaking slingshot my bullets over there. This really sucks. The only way I can reach them is by I'm dead. I died. Again, because I got stuck with a room that I couldn't freaking shoot things in. Okay, let's try this one more time. Hello, headless body spewing blood. Did you not spew blood? Now, there are more characters than just Isaac, as you could have seen when I was selecting characters, but I figured for my first episode, I'll just go with... hitting my microphone. For the first episode, I'll just go with the original, the great, the Isaac. He's a pretty baseline character. The other characters all have unique stats, and they start with items and stuff. For example, one of my favorite characters to play is Azazel, where you basically start with a laser beam that you shoot out of your mouth, but it's very short... excuse me, it's very short range, so you have to be careful. But I figured I'll start with a classic for the first episode. Maybe after a couple episodes of Isaac, we'll try out some other people. Ooh, I'm gonna get a 2-for-1. Hidden rock and... ooh, and a coin. Well, this was a bountiful room, but I still need to go find the item room. Where are you, item room? Now, these larger rooms that I keep going through, these were also added in the DLC. Usually the biggest room you went through was, well, the size of... well, no, okay, so in the original game, the biggest room you went through was 1x1, I think, and then in Rebirth, or... was it Rebirth, or the Wrath of the Lamb DLC? I can't remember what items were added in. If you want to go look at the, there's a Binding of Isaac wiki that's got just tons and tons of good information on this game. So if you're ever interested, if I ever pick something up, and I don't immediately explain what it does, and you're like, but Shay, what item do? You can always go look it up on the wiki. I tend to look stuff up on the wiki a lot, just because you find that new item, and you'd much rather know what it does rather than trying to figure it out on the fly. So this is the multi-dimensional baby. It does interesting things when you shoot tears through it, and it kind of like lags behind you. I have yet to figure out a efficient way of using him to my advantage. There's so many rocks to bomb here, and ow, I need to pay better attention. And I just don't have the bombs to do anything with them, which really sucks. Alright, Monstro. Monstro's a classic enemy from the first game. I think he's one of the first bosses I ever fought in the first game. Ow. Yeah, this companion is really difficult to take advantage of, especially with an enemy that moves as much as Monstro does. But it's definitely increasing my damage, which is nice. Alright, Monstro down. And Mom's coin purse, full of pills! I'm gonna put them all in my mouth.
Speed up.
Health up.
Paralysis.
And of course, the pill I get 2 of does something really crappy. Okay. Moving on. The Cellar 2. Black poop. I still haven't figured out what the black poop does. I think it hurts all the enemies in the room when you break it. Okay. Room full of poop and big old babies. I feel for the mother who birthed those. Probably my mother in this game, because she's weird. She tried to stab me because the voice in the sky told her to. And that's basically the story of this game. The voice in the sky told your mother to stab you, so you tried to run away, if the cinematic didn't make that obvious. This game uses a ton of biblical references, which I'm not well versed on, but I'm sure there are many other people who are. And I'm sure there's a grand old discussion about that on the wiki that you can always look up if you'd like. But I'm mostly just going to focus on the gameplay rather than the story, and I need to stop talking and pay attention, but that's not entertaining for the viewers. Alright. Ooh, a nickel! Do I want to open the shop? I think I'm going to go find the item room first. I probably also should have used my item on that nickel. Oh no. Okay, I'm going to go open the shop, because I don't want to die. Hearts, please. That's not gonna drop a heart, though. Okay. We'll do that. And we'll get a bomb. Shoot the fire. And we are moving. Oh, I forgot about this room. Jeez. I'm glad they give you that little grace period when you first go in before they try and stab your face. Die. Die. Spiders! Die! I freaking hate spiders in this game. I'm fine with spiders in real life. Spider bros don't bother me. But the spiders in this game are assholes. Okay, we still need to find the boss room and the item room. Spiders. Gotta love spiders. Oh, Jesus. No! Whoa. Okay. We're good. What is... Oh! So this gives you, what are they called? They're called Eternal Hearts. What Eternal Hearts do is, they go on the very end of your health. I'm not going to use it right now, because if I use it right now, I'm going to lose it. But if you end a level with an Eternal Heart, you get a full heart container on the next level, which is super useful. Being able to build yourself tanky in this game is really advantageous. You can go into this game glass cannon, and as long as you're good at dodge and stuff, you'll be fine, but being tanky is always better than trying to be glass cannon. Ooh, come on, no! Oh, I'm probably gonna die on this next boss. I'm really gonna die on this next boss. Oh, Widow. Hi, Widow. Widow makes lots of spiders, my worst enemy. Woo. No! Twitchy little cheaty bastards. Come on. And I need to kill these, because these will spit out spiders like that. Ooh. No, no, too many spiders in the room. Too many spiders in the room. No! No! Oh, man. Ah! Alright. Well, I think that does it for this episode. If you guys have the Binding of Isaac Afterbirth and you're interested in trying out the runs I did at the death screens for each of them, that number in the upper left-hand corner on the little card there, that's the seed number, so you can just reverse back to the death you wanted to try out, punch in that seed number in the menu, and you can try the same runs I did. But that's it for this one. If you liked what you saw, please consider subscribing, comment, like, dance in your chair, whatever you're inclined to do. And I'll catch you guys in the next episode. Bye-bye!
I have questions. Predominantly, why am I now playing as a shoe fetishist? What is this? This character thing? Oh, it seems that if I tap my jump button, I need to not jump on there. I need to jump on there. Once again, really glad they don't have limits.